Hello there, this is Katie with Sola Wood Flowers. Today we are going to be showing you how to make a gorgeous bridesmaid bouquet with beautiful shades of blue. We're going to go ahead and start with our wood flowers, of course, as well as some of our wood flower dye, Sola softener, and a bowl for the water. You're going to take a bowl, about a cereal sized bowl is fine, add a little bit of water. Go ahead and add some of your Sola softener. And then you're going to add some of your wood flower dye. The more dye you use, the more vibrant your colors are going to be. The less dye you use, they'll be a little bit more subtle. You can test this out before you go too crazy with it and start dyeing all of your flowers. You can test it out in smaller batches to make sure you're getting the exact shade that you want. Now that we have the water, the dye, and the softener in our bowl, we're going to go ahead and mix it really well. The softener and the dye tend to sink to the bottom, so you want to make sure that's all stirred in there and mixed up really well. Now you're ready to dip your flowers. Go ahead and get crazy with it. Dip your flowers in there. Make sure all of the petals are submerged. That way you're not going to have any blotchy dye. You won't have missed petals in the middle. Shake off any excess water and set your flowers aside to dry. Here you can see we're using a toothpick stuck in the back of the flower here. It just makes it a little bit easier, keeps your hands clean. You can do it. You can wear, gloves if you want and dip your hands in the dye. I'm always in a hurry when I'm dyeing flowers, and so I generally just use my bare hands. It washes off pretty easily, but you can do whatever you'd like. Now that our flowers have been dyed, dry, and they're ready to go, we are ready to get started. Let's go ahead and stem our flowers. We're going to add just a little bit of glue to our wire stem. Pick a flower, stick that stem through the back and into the flower. You want to make sure the stem is in the flower far enough that the flower is not going to pop off while you're arranging it into your bouquet, but not so far that the stem sticks through the opposite side of the flower. Now that our flowers are all stemmed and ready to go, we're going to set those to the side and get started on our filler. We're going to be using a few different types of filler. This tutorial will work for any filler that you're wanting to use in your bouquet. All right, let's start arranging. When we start our bouquet, we like to start it with 3 or 4 different colors that we're using in our bouquet. It just helps to get us a nice base for spreading those colors out evenly throughout the bouquet. Arrange the flowers however you would like. You can tape as you go, you can tape at the very end, whatever you find easiest for you. We have about 10 flowers here, and we're going to go ahead and add some tape. Now we're going to go ahead and keep arranging, just adding flowers to that outer layer, giving us a nice rounded look, but also giving it the bouquet a bit of a domed shape. You don't want a flat pancake bouquet, and this is a good way to get a nice, just a little bit of a dome, just a little bit of a layered bouquet look. We have a few pieces of filler here that we are going to add a stem to. This is a faux filler. And the stem on the faux filler isn't quite long enough to add right into the bouquet, so we're just adding a stem to it, and then we're going to cover that stem just in a little bit of floral tape, just kind of helps clean up the look a little bit. You can do that with many different types of faux filler if you'd like. It just makes it, like I said, a bit easier to add to your bouquet. That way you're not fighting with a teeny tiny little leaf. Now this is a preserved filler. This is our leather leaf preserved filler. We're going to go ahead and stem some of these smaller leaves individually as well. It just helps to make one piece of filler go a lot farther in our bouquet. Instead of using the one stem that you see laying there in the back and only having that on one section of our bouquet, breaking it apart and stemming these little leaves individually will just be able to make your filler go a lot further. Same thing, adding a bit of wire, Adding the tape to it to clean up the look. Trimming the end. And now you can add it to your bouquet. Now let's add our filler. We have our flowers arranged. You can add your filler as you go. Here we're going to go ahead and add it after. We're just going to add our bits of filler in here. You can add them wherever you'd like. You can spread them out. You can bunch them on one side if there's a particular look you're going for. Here we're just going to add this spiral eucalyptus kind of all over the place. We just kind of want it evenly distributed throughout our bouquet. All right, here's one of those pieces of leather leaf that we just added in as well. Gonna go ahead and add a piece of tape. This is just gonna secure those small pieces of filler that we just added. That's just gonna secure it right to that bouquet. That way they're not moving around as we continue to work on this. Adding a bit more leather leaf, just kind of working those pieces of filler in between the flowers until they're in the position that we want them to be. Now we're going to tape those few pieces on, and we're ready to add this beautiful Dusty Miller faux filler that we've added in here. It'll work perfectly with the different shades of blue that we dyed our flowers. Again, just kind of working those stems in. You can stick it in between the petals like so, and just kind of add the bottom of the stem into the handful of your other flowers and filler. For your bridal bouquet, you can add as much or as little filler as you prefer. We really love filler, and when I say we, I mean I'm a huge filler fan. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I love filler. I love working with the filler. I love combining the different types, but it's your day. You can do as much or as little as you want, whatever is going to work best for you. Here we're adding our little picks of baby's breath, just to give it a little pop. Time for our bouquet grass. Bouquet grass is an awesome way to finish off your bouquet. We are just going to start by laying it out, grabbing small bunches of it, and just kind of layering it around the stems of our bouquet. It'll just help give the bouquet a more clean, finished look, so you're not seeing the wire stems. It really helps to hide those wire stems. We're just kind of adding it to our handful, twisting it, making sure all those stems are covered. Finishing off with just a bit more filler around the edges. The filler is great for filling in any holes or gaps between petals, between flowers, if that's not what you're wanting to see. And now you want to make sure that you secure this with tape one last time. It's going to just hold everything in place. Your bouquet grass, your filler, your flowers. You've worked really hard on this. You don't want any of that moving and getting out of place and ruining all your hard work. Add a little bit of glue to the top of your tape and stick your twine on. This is going to be for your handle. We just add a little line at the top of that tape there and then go ahead and start wrapping around. The twine is great for adding the handle, like we said, as well as giving the bouquet the finished look. It's going to cover up that tape and just kind of add that little touch. Snip the end of your twine there. If you have a little tail, you can snip the rest of that off, or you can glue it down. Now we're just going to trim up the end of our stems here as well as our bouquet grass. Just give the end of the bouquet a finished clean cut. And there is your bridal bouquet. In this one, we use shades of blue and multiple different kinds of filler. You can use whatever colors you want or whatever fillers you want to match whatever theme you're going for. Happy crafting!